Hey everyone, this has been a video I've been wanting to make for a while. It's about my life, my story, and I wanted to share exactly that with you. I wanted to tell you my life story. Been wanting to do it for a while, and there's been a few obstacles inside which I feel that I'm ready to overcome now and just really get this out there to you. So I'll do this in a chronological order and take it from the start and bring you up to speed to where I am currently. And bear in mind that this might be quite tough to do, and there might be some things I will miss out. So if you do have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will get back to you on any of those, I suppose. And I do feel very open. I feel like an open book, and I'm comfortable with sharing a lot about my life with people. So, originally I'm from Afghanistan, which is in the Middle East. That's where I was born. And I was born in 1996, which was during a time and where things were difficult in Afghanistan, and people were getting killed, and many bombings happening, and many people getting shot and stuff. And it was my parents' decision to move to England when I was about 2 years old. So some of my family actually fled the country, so most of my dad's side. And some of us ended up coming to England, and some of them went to Denmark. So currently I have family located in Afghanistan, Denmark and England. So I grew up in England. That was where I spent the past 20 years of my life. And growing up in England felt like, I was missing a part of my torso. Yes, things are safe in England, but I was definitely misplaced. Think about it. It's like taking a lion from its natural habitat, for example, and moving it into a safari park on another continent. It's gonna feel a little weird. So I suppose that's how I would describe feeling in England. I guess I was generally a smart kid, and I was aware of the difficulties that my parents have been through, and the state of things in Afghanistan, and how I need to make the most of the opportunities available for me. And that's what I tried to do. I was always quite good in school, getting the best grades. Football was a big passion of mine, and when I was age 14 I even played for Coventry Academy, and I was playing for West Midlands county football team as well. I also played for Coventry Schoolboys. So yeah, we were based in Coventry for most of the time. And the city that I'm from in Afghanistan is called Herat, if you're wondering. It's on the western side, close to Iran. And in Afghanistan they speak Farsi, and I do know how to speak Farsi and understand it because I was taught at home, and I would speak to my family in Farsi, and that's something that I'm really glad I was able to learn and keep and cherish with me, because it's quite a beautiful language. Unfortunately I can't really read big books or stuff like that, but I would love to learn and improve my Farsi. So yeah, clearly I just told you that I played a lot of football as a child. That was my sport, and I loved it, you know, I really enjoyed it. And I was a striker, scoring loads of goals every season. But then something kind of shifted as the more I played, and as I started to get a bit older, I started to lose a bit of interest in football, particularly when I was released from Coventry Academy. That sort of shattered my dream of becoming a professional footballer. And then after that I decided to focus on my studies, and I sort of replaced football with lifting weights, because that was a huge trend at the time, and you know, everyone was sort of, you know, inspired by, I suppose, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and like gyms were made more available, and it's something that I decided to give it a go. I wanted to gain a bit of weight because I was a very skinny kid, and that's exactly what I did. I started working out in my garage, and you know, started eating more food, and slowly I began to gain some muscle, and I could clearly see results on a weekly and monthly basis. And weightlifting became my passion for the next few years, and I would religiously work out as well as study, and that became my life, even all the way through A-levels, even till the beginning of university. And I looked quite different to the way I look right now, that's for sure. For my A-levels I studied maths, chemistry, biology and Spanish. And for my GCSEs I did quite well. I think I got like 9 A stars, and like mixed with A's and B's, like with some of the other subjects. And then in my A-levels as well, I did quite well. I got an A star in maths and 3 A's in chemistry, biology and Spanish. And Spanish was something which I really enjoyed. I love Spanish, and I can speak it now, thanks to studying it in school. And my A-levels were quite good, actually. I would say I enjoyed the process of studying. I enjoyed studying maths, like it's a really beautiful language. Chemistry was quite interesting, and incorporated quite a bit of maths as well. And biology, like, I was always attracted to nature. I suppose playing football regularly put me outside on the fields, where I was connected to the grass and the fields and the pure air that exists in those places. So, you know, how can you not be interested in biology, like, when it's basically the study of life? So, yeah, I would say I enjoyed the A-levels that I studied, but I was unsure as to what I wanted to do afterwards. And during the time I felt sort of pressured to go to university, and that's what I ended up doing. And I went to university at Warwick, and I chose engineering because it allowed my options to remain open. And the way the course was structured, it was general engineering for 2 years, and then you get to specialize in your 3rd year. So I went through my 1st year in university, and I moved away from home, which sort of granted me a lot of freedom to explore some areas that I was interested in, and to meet some new people and try some new things, which is exactly what I did. And I would say that I wasn't particularly enjoying my course, but there were other things about university that I was quite enjoying for the first few months at least. And then towards exam time, like, I just really wasn't enjoying it. But I managed to do quite well in my 1st year, and I sort of explored the area of philosophy spirituality, psychedelics, and religion, quite a bit in my first year. And that really opened my mind to a lot of concepts, particularly through listening to Alan Watts. He was my favorite person to listen to. He says some amazing things, which I highly recommend. If you've never listened to Alan Watts talking, then you need to check it out. So yeah, after my first year of university, I had kind of grown up a bit, and I wanted to travel. That's something I really wanted to do. So I actually did go to Madrid for 1 week, where I did some solo backpacking and stayed in some hostels. And that really opened my eyes and mind up to the world of travel, and how we can go wherever we want pretty much, and learn about new cultures and see different places on the planet, which I just found amazing, like such a beautiful idea. And that's what I really wanted to do. And yeah, so the summer finished and I went back to university, and so there was a stark contrast between traveling and staying at university. And in my second year, actually, I got quite depressed because my heart wanted to do one thing, but my body and mind were like trapped in another reality, which was university. And I started to lose some control of my life. I was quite prone to, I suppose, SAD, which is seasonal. It's to do with like getting sad when it's cold, being away from the sun. I really realized the importance of the sun and being outside, like it's really important for me. So I ended up actually taking a year out during university in my second year, and I moved back home, and for me I think that made things worse because I suppose in that time I needed to be more independent, but moving back home made it the opposite, where sort of I had my parents looking after me and really like providing me everything, and I was pretty much sleeping the days away and thinking about just negative thoughts, like just really not understanding life or the world, and being quite overwhelmed by that. And I was sort of swallowed by this dark hole and reached a really low, the lowest I've ever been in my life. And I sort of gave up, actually. And I turned to food as a comfort. And as a result, after a few months, I had gained quite a bit of weight, and I was really unhappy with myself. And I didn't know how to shift things, and I really wanted to travel, but like my parents were really worried for me because I wasn't able to show to them that I can take care of myself, which is understandable. Until eventually they sort of realized that my condition wasn't improving, and they finally sort of gave me their permission to go traveling. So that's what I did. I went to Peru for 3 weeks, and in Peru I started in Lima and went to Cusco, and in Cusco I did 3 ayahuasca ceremonies with a Native American shaman. And if you don't know what ayahuasca is, that's something I can talk about in another video, and can talk about my experiences and the visions that I had. But it definitely confirmed to me some of the thoughts and ideas that I had touched upon before in my first year with the areas that I explored. But to be to be literally given these visions in sort of in reality, and to feel like that is reality was just amazing. And it confirmed to me that no, I'm not crazy, and life is a magical place. And although we might think we understand things, we really don't. And pretty much, you know, to go through that experience, I understood that nobody has life figured out. And, you know, although I felt lost, I sort of began to find myself once again. So the traveling really helped me. And then after that, I just started to pick myself back up slowly again. And then I came across veganism, and I also came across fruitarianism, and thanks to Ted Carr, shout out to Ted Carr, his videos on YouTube really, I think I would say, like, saved my life, you know, because I really needed to figure out sort of way of eating that was going to fit my lifestyle, and fruitarianism sort of checked all the boxes, and I always loved fruit, and so I decided to give it a go, you know. Like, I realized that, okay, Ted Carr is this guy who's fruitarian, and he has been for like the past 7-8 years or something, and I was like, hey, like, I could do that. And so I tried it, and I experienced so many benefits. Sorry, there's just a cat over here that's gonna tip the camera. She is okay though. So yeah, I started fruitarianism when I was 20 years old, and that changed everything for me. It was so amazing, and there was no looking back. I knew that veganism was my path now. And so I went back to university, and I finished the next 2 years, and I met my girlfriend during my second year. Her name is Amanda, and she's Brazilian. She was doing an exchange year, and we lived together for the second year. And I really got to experience what love is just through being with her, you know, which I'm really grateful for. And we're still together, and after she did an exchange year, I finished my third year as well, which was, you know, I knew finishing university wasn't going to be easy, but that I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. And that's exactly what I did. So I have just recently finished university. I think it's been just over 2 weeks since my last exam. I'm waiting for my final results, so hopefully they will be quite good, because I worked pretty hard in my last year. And yeah, here I am. So right now I'm in Rio de Janeiro, and I've been here for about 2 weeks. Just after I finished my last exam, I took a flight to Rio, and I met up with Amanda, and yeah, my plans now are to travel, and I want to start with South America. So that's my story. I'm sure there's things I missed out, but you know, I'm practicing, and hopefully I will improve at these YouTube videos over time. But I hope this was of some value to you, and sort of gave you an insight into my life, and allows you to understand who I am as a person. Definitely I'll be talking about more things in future videos. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments. Much love, peace out.